In the book, The Best Loser Wins, Tom Hogarth says, I am a profitable trader. Is that because I possess superior charting abilities? No, of course not. There are many brilliant chartists who can't trade. I'm exceptionally good at stare at this image for a few seconds. In this video, I'm going to explain how losers win prop firm challenges and get payouts. I've been funded with prop firms for 2 years. I've secured almost 1 million in funding and have another 1 million in phase 2. I'm a profitable trader while losing trades, and I want to share with you how so that you can get funded and payouts while losing as well. The art of losing is something that many traders don't understand. In the book, The Best Loser Wins, Tom Hogarth says, I am a profitable trader. Is that because I possess superior charting abilities? No, of course not. There are many brilliant chartists who can't trade. I'm exceptionally good at losing. When speculating in financial markets, the best loser wins. Don't underestimate these 4 words. I'm going to use 3 things in this video. This image, a story about Stephen Curry, and my current docuseries accounts to illustrate the point. Let's start with this image. Mark Douglas brought it to our attention that the only way to make money is to have an edge, and the only way to profit from that edge is to execute trades every time you see your confirmations. This is illustrated through the right win rate and risk to reward. In the chart below, 60, 50, 40, 30, and 20% win rates can make money. It all depends on the risk to reward. At 20%, if you risk 1% to make 5%, you can make money. But let's take the middle ground example because most people won't be able to survive a 20% win rate. Let's take the 50%. If you take 30 trades risking 1% to make 2% with a win rate of 50% and average R&R of 1 to 2, you will end up in 15% profit. On a $1 million account, it's 150K. On a 500K account, it's 75K. On a 400K account, it's 60K. The yearly salary of a few professions. Now, comment a fire sign below if you think you can win at least 50% of your trades. Now, we don't want to stop at 50%. There are a lot of things that we can do to raise our win rate. But if you are early in the game and can gain the ability to win just 50% of your trades with 1 to 2, you can make money. So the question is, are you willing to get the average win rate and R&R of your setups and do the work to condition your mind to withstand the trading series? Will you take 2 losses in a row and then execute on the 3rd trade for a win and to go and profit and then continue to execute on the next 3 setups for even bigger profits? Take a look at my TradeZilla for my current docuseries account. Now you see it's about 56K. It should be 80K here, but I couldn't load one of the accounts. But nevertheless, 65% win rate, $56,000, almost 1 to 4 R&R. Look, there are losses here. So this is a strong key. Most people cannot become successful. They stop trading. They can't stick to their trading plan. They lose discipline because they cannot conquer this ability to lose. It's inevitable. We cannot achieve 100% win rate unless we're practicing insider trading. Now, let's further the analogy and make it stick. Let's drive it home. Here's a comparison to basketball. Mark Douglas gave the analogy of the coin flip. I'll give you another one to remind you how we make money in this game and to help it stick. Some of the greatest traders in the industry are profitable with a 50% win rate, like Hall of Famers that have less than a 50% shooting average. It's not quite the same, but the greatest shooter of all time, Stephen Curry, had less than a 50% strike rate on 3-pointers at the height of his career. Each time he missed a 3-pointer, he risked the other team scoring, but when he made the shots, he added 3 points to his team's score. What made him so lethal was his confidence and ability to shoot regardless of the tough situations. He could shoot through a series of misses and gain his rhythm back, keep shooting to finish out his series of shots with a lot of points. Trading is the same. The only way to benefit from the edge of your strategy is to keep shooting every time your confirmations appear in the market, knowing that if you make 8 out of 10, you will land above 10% in profit, which could be somebody's yearly salary depending on your account size. Now, how do we achieve this? I made a simulator for my Profit X group, but if you don't have access to that, you can practice conditioning your mind through visualization, through meditation and guided imagery. Look up guided imagery from Dr. Brett Steinberger. Also study Joe Dispenza, How to Break the Habit of Being Yourself. Okay, let's jump into the docuseries accounts. So what I want to show you is I've loaded in most of the docuseries accounts here of the 1 million. MFF had already deleted 300K account, the one that you saw me trade in episode 2, so I couldn't load that data in. What I do want to show you is that all the trades are pretty much with US 30. So you'll see wins here as well as losses, but the wins are significantly greater. That's why I have like almost a 1 to 4. The key here though is that when you have a strategy, there's no 100% win rate. So I'm showing 65% here, but some of these are smaller trades that I opened up maybe for the minimum trading days, so the win rate may be slightly off. But the key is that you will have losses because the market is random and we don't know what bigger players are going to do. So you can have a great strategy and you can be profitable with it, but we don't know what it's going to. So I want to first show you that, and I'll start to use TradeZilla to load all my trades in from challenges and from live accounts. As we go through the docu-series, we get through phase 2 and then we get to the funded stage. I'll be showing all the payouts from these accounts, just protecting myself as a business, not showing everything I make. But these set of accounts, I'll be showing everything from the trades that I took to pass phase 1 to phase 2, and then trades that I took in the MT5 to get payouts with these accounts. Okay, so these are my public accounts. I'm using these as public accounts to help guide everyone that's in the community as well as who's supporting me on YouTube and across the socials. So let me just show you a little bit about the US30 strategy that I trade. I'll show you an intraday setup from 4-hour zone to zone, and then I'll show you a scalp setup as well. For US30, I use the 4 market phases when I'm looking at US30. Once you can clearly identify which phase it's in, then you'll know if it's higher probability to buy or sell. You have to look up the market phases yourself for now if you're interested. So US30 was on the decline, stocks were selling off, and then it entered into a range. Normally the range is accumulation or distribution. So once we saw that there was an accumulation phase, the big players are accumulating contracts. This first push up here outside of the range was assigned to us that we would start to buy. So we had buys, but I actually caught this particular buy on the 300K docu-series itself. So you see this buy. If you haven't seen the docu-series, go check it out. You'll see me take this buy from the MT5 directly, right? So I'm looking at the daily time frame and the 4-hour time frame to form my bias of whether buying or selling is higher probability. Once I know that, then I'll be looking at the 4-hour and lower time frames as well for supply and demand setups, right? So we have setups here that I won't talk about. You can clearly see that market structure is creating highs here. What we see here is rally base rally. So we see a demand zone created here, and then price came back. So price pushed up hard, came back to the demand zone. We went to the lower time frame and we're able to get a strong entry from the lower time frame for a very nice R&R trade. And then price continued bullish. So what we want to do is we want to be on the side of the bigger institutions. So they're looking at it from the daily time frame. They're accumulating the orders here for some time. While they're accumulating orders, they're going to shake out weak buyers and weak sellers. So you see the wicks to the downside, right? And then once they have accumulated their contracts, you're going to see a strong bullish move. And what we want to do is we want to be buying as that strong bullish move is happening. Same thing happened on the side over here. You saw them, it's called distribution phase, right? It's ranging. Once the selling is happening, we want to be on the sell side, right? Now the buying is going to start happening. We want to be buying with the larger institutions. I'll have to make another video to explain the lower time frame confirmations. Now let's look at a scalp. So here, so one thing about TradeZilla is that with the trade log, you can click on different setups and then it'll show you where you entered and exit, right? Exited. So here's a scalp, almost move to move trade, but I didn't need that much. I was beating a challenge here. I didn't need, I think I needed just a little bit, you know, to pass. So I was actually scalping here. So if you look at this setup, so I entered here, stop loss above this area here, and I exited there. So what I wanted to share about this is that I've been trading US30 for 2 years and I've developed different types of setups. I've learned this from SMB. I think Mike Bellafiore said he had about 60 different setups. It's for different markets. You don't need all of these setups in the beginning, but as you grow as a trader and you experience different markets, you can create different setups to maximize your time and capital. One of the setups that I look out for and I have in my playbook is when price reaches like a level 10 zone, a zone that has not been surpassed for a long time. So US30 had reached a resistance that hadn't been traded. It hadn't traded above it for about for over a year. You won't see it here in the TradeZilla window, but this particular zone around 34,500, it had not traded above it for almost a year. Every time price came to that zone, it rejected, right? So normally around these zones, when I see that price is struggling and fundamentals align, then you can scalp these zones. So if you see at the 8:30 open, the 5-minute time frame, it created a supply zone. We see price rising, rising, rising. It ranged and then a strong, massive bearish move down, footprint of the institutions. Price went back up slowly over the next like hour or two. And then when price came back, you have a lot of price action here for the sell. I was anticipating that price would come back up to this supply and then sell off, at least to touch this low here. but price went down and kept going. So this was a scalp, but it actually was a move to move trade. So here are just a few trades. All you need is a few solid A setups, and if you trade from higher time frame zones, normally those zones will have a higher probability of playing out in your favor. So my main strategy is supply and demand, but I can lose well. Please let me know what you struggle with when it comes to losses in the comment section. If you want to see how I would grow a small funded account to a larger one, watch this video.